All right, welcome back. Well, the Attorney General's race is headed to a runoff after last night's election. It has come down to a Republican and Democrat. There you see right there on your screen, Liz Murrell, the Republican, got 45% of the vote. She'll face Democrat Lindsey Cheek, who was the next top vote getter with 23%. We'll keep an eye on that race as well. Vanya Joseph was at Murrell's election night watch party. She caught up with the Republican right after she learned about that runoff. Take a look.
The race for Attorney General is now heading to a runoff election. Republican Liz Murrell will now be facing Democrat Lindsey Cheek in that race happening on November 18th. Now, in her speech to her supporters tonight, she thanked everyone who has been on this journey with us. She also made a pretty bold statement. She said, "I think that the choices between us could not be more clear." And I asked her what exactly that meant when it comes down to voters.
All the voters have been very clear. I think the entire time that I've been out campaigning, I think it's been reflected by the platforms of my competitors who have also run good races in this race, so I congratulate them. But the voters care about crime. They care about protecting jobs. They care about protecting our freedoms, and that's what I do every day. So, you know, I think that the choice is very clear, and I have a proven track record, and I think that's what we saw reflected in the vote tonight. Running for office is a whole different thing. It's a very people-oriented, it's a very outward-facing job to convince people to trust you and to believe in you and to vote for you, and that is a humbling experience.
And Murrell tells me that they now have 5 weeks to make the vote count. Again, that runoff election is going to be taking place on November 18th. For our local election headquarters, I'm Vanya Joseph.
Okay, this next race, Secretary of State, is a big one for Louisiana. This race is going into a runoff. Nancy Landry, Republican candidate, second in command to Ardoin, for the current Secretary of State. She says she has the most experience for that position. A former member of the House of Representatives and first Assistant Secretary of State. Now, her next voting system, she wants more modern machines and paper ballots. Now, the other one, Gwen Collins Greenup, Democrat. She was in the runoff against Ardoin back in 2019, and she decided to run again, and here she is again in another runoff. So we'll see how that turns out. Another runoff is happening in the treasurer's race. There you see Republican John Fleming. He got 44% of the vote. He'll face off with Democrat Dustin Granger. And let's take a look at the lieutenant governor's race. It looks like Billy Nungesser will stay in office. He wins that race with 66% of the vote. No runoff necessary there, and the AP called his race very early on in the night. Reggie Marion was there at Nungesser's election night watch party in Madisonville. He has the latest.
Very early night for you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Shocked that they called it so early, but honored to serve for another 4 years.
I do want to talk to you a little bit about some things that's coming down the pipeline. Your office has done a lot of major redesign to the African American Trail in the state. There was a meeting in Baton Rouge Monday, a public meeting. Tell us why you decided to redesign that and why you are pushing for people to make sure they get out there and discuss that.
Well, when we started the Civil Rights Trail, learned Louisiana didn't have one, and we discovered so many heroes that stood up and sat down in Louisiana that were real heroes during that era. We also discovered the African American Trail had a lot of unsung heroes, so we reopened that trail to honor and recognize all those people in business, in medicine, in so many fields that in a tough time really excelled in those fields. So in conjunction with the Civil Rights Trail, we're going to also reunite the African American Trail. And so we want to have public meetings to make sure we uncover all those heroes around Louisiana and honor them. So as we look and open the Civil Rights Museum and we take that trail around Louisiana, the African American Trail with all those great people that made a contribution to Louisiana and to this country are recognized and honored. So it's two trails that will work together as we promote them and get people to move around Louisiana and learn more about those heroes of that era.
All right, very excited. Billy Nungesser there. Here's a look at results from more races throughout the state.